All right. So the other day, I was meditating and there was this feeling in my body. I was like, man, I miss just speaking into my mic, doing my show at home in my sweats with my tea and just like doing it completely stripped down. And then there was this other part of me that was like, go do that then. So here we are, the first stripped down episode on the Can't Be Contained podcast. We're going back to where we started. You guys, this feels really, really, really dope. I feel like when I am in the comfort of my own office, in my pajamas, sipping my tea, we can just get really real and honest and raw and just like, all those good things. And so I'm going to be bringing you these stripped down episodes every now and then, mostly like life updates. I'm going to bring on some of my favorite people who just are some of the realest and raddest humans to do these stripped down episodes with me on the show. So stay tuned. It's going to be a party. I feel so grateful that we're here. This episode is brought to you by Pause Breath Work. Obviously, that's not super obvious, but it is. Hi. We are currently enrolling you guys for our somatic coaching certification. So if you are either a coach or an aspiring coach and you want to ride the wave of the trend happening in the personal development industry, which is less mindset work and more body-based healing. We're seeing the impact. We're seeing how powerful doing somatic work is when we can actually get into the body. Get into the body, release everything that we're holding on to. Get rid of the stuck, stagnant energy that is having an impact on our life and really liberate ourselves back into power. I often say taking density and putting it back into divinity. That is what this work is all about. So if you are thinking about doing this work, check it out. Go to pausebreathwork.com/somatic. That's pausebreathwork.com/somatic and go check it out. If it vibes with you, if you're like, yes, this is my best next move, you can apply there. You can talk to the team. And if it's a fit, you'll know right away. All right, let's dive right into today's episode.
Can't be contained.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, my loves. This is a life update / Q&A session, and I'm just so stoked to be with you guys in this way. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I feel like I fall more and more in love with this community by the day. It's just so rad to see. Number one, it's just so rad to see it growing, this Pause Breathwork community, and this just vibe and momentum of creating transformation for people all around the world. I just feel so grateful that not only I get to lead it and create in it, but I get to be a part of it. It feels very heartwarming. So thank you so much for being a part of that. All right, life update. Let's go. Gosh. Okay. So I'm not going to lie, you guys. The first 3 months of 2024 have been some of my hardest months as an entrepreneur. Not necessarily as, like, my personal life has been pretty cruisy. I'll get to that in a minute. I have some fun updates there. But my life as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as a CEO, as a female founder, some of the things that I've been navigating this year have been, for lack of a better term, or maybe this is just an absolutely accurate term, is excruciating as I laugh at myself. But really, I can't remember the last time where I would wake up with anxiety every morning. And that was the case the first couple of weeks of March, where I was like, man, this is intense. You know, my eyes would open and I'd have this guttural feeling in my stomach. And I remember Eric and I going for a walk, and I just said to him, like, what I know about these moments in life is they grow me, they shape me into a better leader. They're rich with lessons, and I'm always grateful for them on the other side. And I said to Eric as we were on our evening sunset walk, which is a new ritual that we started, I said to him, "Man, I wish I could just have the lessons without the pain." And he's like, "But doesn't the pain make the lightness so much sweeter?" And it made me cry because it's just so true. And now, at the time of recording this podcast, we're now middle of April. I completely just am so grateful for those moments and for those days and for that darkness, because I definitely feel stronger. I feel more alive. I feel more connected to my mission in a way that I haven't felt before. I feel I think capable is the word. It's like when something happens that you kind of fear, like, oh man, that'd be so shitty if that happened. And then the thing actually happens, you stop fearing it. And I think this is a really powerful thing. It's like you can do so much to avoid it or like help the thing not happening. But when it actually shows up and it happens, there's no other choice but to go through it. The only way through is through. The only way through is through. And as I was trudging through this excruciating pain, it sounds intense and it was. I just held the vision of I am going to be so much stronger on the other side of this. And there is this beautiful thing that happens for me, anyways, where I feel so close to God in the darkness. And that in and of itself was like a really cool lesson. It reminds me of that Jelly Roll song. It's like, I only talk to God when I need a favor. I kind of like got called out. Jelly Roll called me out on that because like in March, I was praying so hard and it felt really beautiful. And I felt God's presence so clear in my life. And whether your word is universe or life force or whatever it is, just it's the thing that we all know exists, but we sometimes can't identify. Anyway, that stuff. Um, I felt the presence of God so potently in my life, and I'm like, man, there's such duality here of this pain that I'm experiencing, but also this hope and this vision. And so now on the other side of it, that was so much of the lesson of like, I get to call forth that knowing that I am supported and I am protected moment by moment, day by day. And damn, that feels good. Feels so good. Feels so, so, so good. So here we are in April. Spring has sprung. I have never felt better. Truly, though, something like drastically shifted. And I know we were going through all that like eclipse stuff and Mercury retrograde stuff, but I've just been waking up so grateful and so connected to the mission that is on my life and just feeling really good. And so that's the real. And then simultaneously to all of that happening, yay, we're planning a wedding. I did a little Q&A box on Instagram and you guys want to hear about the wedding. So we're going to do that right off the bat. So wedding planning is going really, really well. Eric is so, oh my God, he's just so good at experiences and just details. And he just gets it. He just gets it. And so planning with him has been so much fun. Like it's been this fun little project because obviously I have my business and he has his business, but our wedding has been this fun little project that we kind of get to co-create together. And the cool thing is our vision of our wedding is exactly the same. Like he yeah, it's just like when we settle into it and we feel into it, it's the exact same vision. And so pulling the pieces together and doing like the mood boards and like the food and the vibe and the experiences, it's just been so much fun. And you guys have been here. Well, if you're new here, maybe you weren't here, but the year after we got engaged was the hardest year of our relationship, and we excavated and healed and just gosh, we like went to work, and that was intense. There was like moments there where I'm like, I don't know if we're going to get through this, and we both had multiple conversations of sitting down and being like, is this what we both want? Like, are we in this to win this? Are we ready to do the work here? And ultimately the answer was always yes. And this is hard. So now on the other side of that, this wedding planning process has felt so sweet. It's this interesting theme in my life where the our ability to move through, or my ability to move through really hard things, just makes the other side so damn sweet. And I'm beginning to realize that's the point of life. Of like, how can we use the content that's in our life to evolve us, to shift us, to move us, to help us become the versions of ourselves that is, that feels good, that feels alive, that feels energizing. So to answer your question, wedding planning is going really well. Eric and I love the mountains, obviously. So our wedding is going to be in the mountains, and it's summer camp theme. So like and it's like 3 days with all of our favorite people. So we're super pumped. And one of the nights we're doing this like camp out theme where like all the food is like camp food, and we're gonna have everyone in flannels, and we're gonna have fire pits and live music, and it's just gonna be so freaking rad. So yeah. So that feels really exciting. So yeah, that's good. Okay, what's the next question? What's the next question? Explain your morning routine. So, my morning routine shifts based on the season that I'm in, where I'm at in my cycle, but I'm going to kind of give you a like high level of the things that I do, and then choose your own adventure and choose whatever makes sense for you. So, obviously 5 minutes as soon as I wake up, we're doing breath work. Like that's a non-negotiable. 5 minutes every single day. I get up, I hydrate myself, so I chug a bunch of water. And then I go right to my mat and I do 5 minutes of breath work. And that's just to clear out any stagnation, any energy that got stuck. It's just to like really set my day. And then at the end of that breath work, I'll either stay in meditation for a while, or I'll just take that time and just like journal and vision and just create and cultivate my day. Then I love movement. So whether it's going to the gym, going for a walk, going for a morning surf, or just shaking it out and doing some somatic movements, definitely do that. Like get the body moving, like release, stretch it out, let it go. And then going on to, we've got a cold plunge at our house. So love, love, love cold plunging in the morning. It feels so good and is such a reset. Apparently, you're not supposed to do it when you're on your period, which annoys me because because I hate not doing it. And I don't know, someone prove me. I want some scientists to come up to me and be like, "Hey, that's actually bullshit. You can do it." I'm still waiting for that. So if there's any scientists on this podcast who tell me that it's okay, that would make my day. But anyway, I love it. My system runs really hot, and I have so much energy. And so there's something about doing that cold plunge in the morning, which just it's almost like it takes all of my energy and just goes and just makes it so potent right in my heart. And I can just use that for the rest of my day. So that feels amazing. And then what I do when I start my workday is I have this document that's called Pause Positivity. And before my day starts, I just write down everything at pause that is amazing, like everything that's going so well. The nature of being a CEO is you're constantly looking for problems to fix, and problems are constantly coming at you to be fixed. And so I started doing this about a year ago, where I'm like, I want to start my day where I'm acknowledging all the good that is happening in my world, in my company, so that when I go into problem solving mode, I'm not like, oh, all there is problems. And that was an experience I was having, like, I think this time last year. I was like, man, this feels really intense. And I realized, oh, yes, there's problems because that's a business. It's a black hole of never ending problems. And there's so much that is good, like so, so, so much that is good. So I start my day off there. Then I connect with my assistant to make sure that I'm good, she's good, we're all cruisy. All right, next question is, what is next for you? Woo, baby. What's next for me? Well, obviously, becoming a wife. That's cool. And let's see, let me feel into this as I'm answering this. I don't premeditate these questions, and I don't write the answers down before I read them. I just kind of channel this. So let me think. Let me feel. So I'm writing my next book, which feels really exciting. That is something that I like. Okay. After I wrote Hungry for Happiness and went through the whole process of like marketing it, I literally was like, I'm never doing that again because it was so much work. But I have so much to say when it comes to breath work and somatic coaching. And so that my last book was obviously all around body image issues and emotional eating. And I'm so proud of it. It's so good, but it was just so exhausting. And so I've taken up literally a 5 year break and I haven't written a book since then. 5 years? Yeah, gosh, it's been 5 years. So the next book is probably going to come out 2025, but we're at the early stages. So that's happening. The second thing that's happening is I'm producing, well, it's almost done, a show called Wide Awake. I think I've shared this with you guys. If not, this is the first time you're hearing about it. It's called Wide Awake. And my ultimate vision, if you want to hold this vision with me, is doing this show at the Sphere in Las Vegas. So, what it is it's a combination of visuals, which is film and projection mapping. A live band accompanies me on the stage just to really get that like powerful energy going, breath work, visualization, and human connection. And so I'm taking all those elements and I'm putting it into this epic 90-minute show. And it is a really freaking powerful experience. And so I'm partnering with some large organizations, which you guys are going to hear about quite soon because we're going to be releasing that soon, to do it all over America. And I'm so excited to see you at the Sphere when we do it at the Sphere. Could you imagine that? 14,000 people doing breath work in the Sphere, releasing, letting go, opening up their hearts, connecting with themselves, connecting to other people. So that feels super, super exciting. And there's just a ton of epic shit happening at Pause. Our team has never been better. Oh my gosh, like I finalized my leadership team this quarter, which was so divine. The people that I hired on to run our marketing and sales are just absolutely amazing humans. I feel so blessed. I feel so grateful. And so we have this really strong, talented, aligned, powerful leadership team. I sit there in our meetings and I'm like, y'all are so wicked smart, and there's literally nothing that we can't do together. And so that feels really beautiful. And then just the rest of our team just feels so amazing. We got together last March and we got to just chill. Maybe you guys saw it on social, but we did like trapeze and we hung out and we danced and we visioned and we created and we just planned the quarter and we reflected. And it was just so extraordinary and so amazing. And I feel so grateful. So there's big things coming for Pause as well. There's some new offers coming down. Maybe you guys just saw that we launched 6-figure retreats, which was the best and most fun I've had launching something ever. It was so amazing. And because my team is so rock solid and intelligent and just rad, the launch was so smooth. And so I felt really good about how we did it. The marketing just felt like so just intentional and in integrity and beautiful. And now we get to deliver it. And the delivery of it has been so great. Our students are so stoked. It's just been the best. It's just been so fun. And so we have a few amazing offers, new offers that are coming in July and in the final part of the year. And so that feels exciting. And we're finding creative and fun ways to really support our alumni. We have thousands of people in 27 countries who are certified Pause Breathwork alumni. And so we're creating opportunities to support them more and make them more successful. So it's just all around so fun. So that's kind of what's next for me. It's like getting married and doing that whole thing, which is obviously super fun. And then also I've never been so proud and excited about Pause. So there we go. All right, next question. What do you currently feel insecure about? This is a good one. What do I currently feel insecure about? I would say, okay, two things are coming to mind. The first thing that's coming to mind, and I don't know if this is an insecurity or an irritation or a frustration, or maybe it's all three combined into one, is the gap between what I know I'm capable of when it comes to creativity and innovation and what I'm currently producing. um, I really pride myself on being like a really innovative creator and being really cutting edge when it comes to what I can do and what I can create. And there's been this interesting relationship between time and creativity where like my creations, like when something's like really fucking good, it's because I've had the space and the time to feel into it and think. Like my keynotes, for instance, like I spend hours and hours, like hundreds of hours on my keynotes. That's why I feel so confident, and that's why I can honestly say I think I'm a really good speaker. Like speaking is probably one of my probably my top talents when it comes to like my creativity. And I feel good with that, but there's other departments of my creativity that I feel like I'm severely underperforming in because I don't have the time, or I haven't created the time in order to have the white space it takes for those things to actually, you know, bake and mold and become life, become like living, breathing things. And so I guess it's a little bit of an insecurity in the sense of like, I know the stuff that I'm putting out is a 7 out of 10 or maybe like a 6 out of 10 in my perspective, and I know what's possible is like a fucking 11 out of 10 because I know I'm a talented creator. So that's just been like a really interesting thing that I've had to like give myself grace for. There's just a lot of things that are happening in my world right now that are taking a lot of my presence and my love and my attention in my personal life and in my business. And so it's limiting the white space to be able to be that potent, powerful, innovative creator that I know is in there. And so, yeah, like as I'm talking it through, it feels like more of a frustration than an insecurity, but there's that, right? And then the second thing I would say is an insecurity around, let's see, how can I say this? It's an insecurity around, I suppose, the unknown of becoming a wife. I feel so confident and like aligned and powerful with Eric and our relationship. And then there's this whole world of like stepping into becoming a wife and like, what does that mean for me? And how do I not adapt what it means to society and conform to that, but really powerfully choosing I'm becoming a wife to this man, and here's what it is for me. No one else, for me. And so that feels really, yeah, there's like an uncertainty, insecurity in the sense of like I don't want to be swayed by anyone else's idea of what this means, and I want to fully choose it for myself and choose what feels good, and an end of story. Basically. And so, yeah, there's like I think with any big initiation in life, there's going to be insecurity that comes up. There's going to be maybe a little bit of self sabotage, or maybe a little bit of frustration or irritation or whatever it is. And so I would say those two things in my life are not like overbearingly like, oh no, these are terrible. But it's like, oh, these are like, I call them rubs. Like these are the things that are just rubbing me a little bit. And those rubs require my awareness. They require my love. They require my introspection in order to make sure that they are back on track and really back in alignment. So that was a really good question. And I kind of love how I don't have answers for these before I go live. All right. What products am I loving right now? This is a good question. And by the way, this is not sponsored. This is literally just me telling you what I love. Okay. Are you ready? I got two. The two that I'm loving right now. Number one, there's a makeup brand called Lawless, and it's super clean. And I'm just loving their lip balms. It's actually San Diego based, and the founder's husband owns the spa that I love going to. So I'm like, it's in the family. The beauty company is called Lawless, and their stuff is just super clean. It's really high quality. It's not this like super clean crap shit that like is sometimes sold to us. It's really high quality. It actually really works, and it's super clean. And so I am loving, loving, loving Lawless Beauty. The second thing that I am loving, my mom was down a couple months ago. We went dress shopping with my mom and Eric's mom and my future sister-in-law and some of my best friends. And my mom bought me this pillowcase called Blissy, and it's a silk pillowcase, and holy shit, I'm obsessed. I swear to God, my hair and my face are like my hair is like shinier and smoother, and my face like, you just don't wake up with, like, all those, like, weird lines that maybe sometimes, like, cotton stuff or whatever other material, has. It just I feel so good. It feels so amazing. So, Lawless Beauty for, like, lip balms and lipsticks and things like that, and then Bellissi for a awesome silk pillowcase. Don't want you don't wanna not have that. You don't wanna miss out on that. All right, the next question is, what does your breathwork practice look like? So it's called the 5-5-20. It's called the 5-5-20. So I do 5 minutes every single morning. I do 20 minutes at some point in my day. Now, guys, that 20 minutes a day, think of that as your shower, right? That's my emotional shower. That's where I take my spa, my soul to the spa, and we like get some shit done. Especially when life is lifey, do not miss that. So that's my 20 minutes a day. So sometimes I'll do like 2 of the 10-minute tracks on the Pause Breathwork app. Sometimes I'll do like the 25-minute one, but that's like my go-to. That's how I recalibrate. That's how I clear out any energy that's not mine. That's how I distinguish what is story from truth. Like it's so freaking powerful. Do not miss that. Do not miss that. And then in the evening, I use another 5-minute track and I do my evening routine. And there's one on the Pause Breathwork app called the Morning Energizer. And then there's one called the Evening Ritual. Those two are highly played. I think the Morning Energizer is literally our most played track on the app. So definitely check that one out. And then yeah, so 5 in the morning, 20, and then 5 at night. So good. So good. So good. So good. It's just like cleanses you. It allows you to get back to the truth. It allows you to get out of story. Like there's nothing like breath work to take you out of the spinning story of anxiety. Like, and here's the vibe, you guys. Like sometimes when life gets lifey, like it did for me in, March, the tendency is to stop doing those practices because you don't have quote unquote time. Don't do that. It's so advantageous to double down on our self care and our practices when life feels extra dramatic and chaotic. Because if we stop doing those, then we're going to take rides on the reality of life and we're going to spin out and then we're going to prolong the amount of time that we're spending. Breath work allows us to shorten the amount of time that we're spending in in chaos. It collapses time for us and it brings us back to our center in such a beautiful way. So don't miss out on that. It is incredibly powerful and it's so easy. It's so easy, it's so powerful. Fire up the app, get it done and don't miss it. It's a date with yourself. It's an emotional shower. It's a spa day for the soul. Don't freaking miss it. All right, my loves, these Q&A episodes are so fun. I'm definitely going to be doing more of them, but we've got time for one more question, which is, what does your typical diet look like on a day-to-day? Okay. So do you guys remember a couple of years ago when I did the carnivore diet where basically all I ate was meat? Like literally all I ate was meat constantly, anything from an animal. And then that got a little bit too intense and it's just kind of I was just over it. I felt the most amazing I've ever felt in my life, but I was really missing things like vegetables and raspberries and all the things. So my diet is very protein forward. So I make sure that I hit my protein every single day. Now, whatever that is for you is kind of based on your weight. Talk to like a nutritionist, your trainer. I'm not gonna like suggest that, but figure out how much protein you need on a daily basis. I swear to you, this is a game changer. This is a game changer. Start your mornings with protein. I love having cottage cheese. I do turkey sausages in the morning. I then mash raspberries into my cottage cheese, put some cinnamon on it, a little bit of honey. Oh my God, it's so good. It is seriously so, so, so yummy. And then every single meal, I just make sure that the majority of the meal is protein. For some reason, my body does not like, I'm good with gluten and I'm good with dairy. So I love cheese. I have a lot of cheese on a daily basis. I have a ton of organic fruits, organic vegetables, and then 3 meals a day. I don't really snack much. I basically just have like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that's it. I tend to not snack. Remember back in the day, they were like, have 94 snacks a day rather than having 3 meals. I don't know. I don't really subscribe to that. It's just, that's just the way my body works. I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It also like breaks up my day, and take time with your food as well. Like, don't just scarf it down, like make it and put love into it, and then sit down and eat it and get off your phone and just enjoy it. Like, there's such ritual that we can have with food if we choose, if we decide. So sit down with it, enjoy it, chill out a little bit, get off your screen and just be with it. So tons of protein. I didn't drink for for the last 3 or 4 months. I stopped drinking alcohol. And I felt really good. It was my girlfriend's birthday a couple weeks ago, and I had like a craft cocktail. And after I had the craft cocktail, I was like, I could literally just go without alcohol forever. I don't know. I haven't fully made that decision yet, but it's something that I've definitely been in inquiry around, because I definitely think that it does more harm than good. Honestly, I'll have like, even if it's just one drink, and then for the 3 days after I have that one drink, my intuition is just not as strong. I just don't feel as intuitive. I don't feel as clear. So that's just me. I don't know. But get that protein in, lots of organic vegetables. Just eat good food. Get away from seed oils as much as possible. Seed oils are in freaking everything. Definitely read labels. I didn't realize how bad seed oils were until like the last year. So, and it's crazy what they're in. Like, even the healthiest, best snacks at Whole Foods and stuff, they still have seed oils in it. So check it out. Try to eliminate as much seed oils as possible. And that's kind of the vibe. That's what I'm doing these days. So it's working really well for me. It feels really good on my body. All right, my loves, this episode has been so epic. I'm grateful we're doing these stripped down episodes. I'll be asking Q&As on my Instagram stories before I do these episodes. So make sure you follow along, ask your questions so they can get answered on the show. I love you all so much. Have an incredible rest of your day. And again, this episode is brought to you by Pause Breathwork. If you want to become a somatic coach, head on over to pausebreathwork.com/somatic and chat to the team to see if it's a fit. All right. Have a beautiful day. We'll
Can't
catch you
be
soon.
contained.